little update on the graveyard situation. I did email him and I asked for a meeting here, so he met me, the guy I deal with, he's met me here with the vicar. It's sort of like, I wouldn't say waste of time, it's not a waste of time, the meeting. We have got somewhere, but we haven't got anywhere yet, and I'll explain what's been going on and what the meeting was about. Now, I'll spin you around. This little bit, as soon as you can see me down there, as soon as you come in, there's this section here, it's a scruffy, and when I was talking I said, it's as scruffy as hell. I don't know if I should have said that to a vicar, but anyway, I've never touched that. I've never been asked to touch it, and when I first got, I don't know why I didn't. I think there was, I don't know if there was something growing there or what, but I didn't do anything with it from day one. And some volunteers, I came in one day, and I'm going back 2 years or more, some volunteers had put wood chip down, and I don't know what they'd done, but since then I just don't do anything with it. So they've asked me to give them a price for getting rid of this, all the nettles and everything, and I suggested just putting some wildflowers in, or just something that we can leave. So that's a improvement if we go ahead with that. Now at least I've got the chance of giving a price for that. So that's that. What else was there? Okay, I'll take you around here. I've put weed killer down on the path, like I said. Now, I mentioned all the weeds in the lawn. The lawn is absolutely full of weeds. They didn't want any weed killing down. They did say why, but I think they said it was like a church policy or something. Whatever it was they said, I didn't like the answer. It was nonsense, to be honest with you. But that was the answer. So really speaking, we can't put weed killer on our lawns. I mean, look at them. It's just weeds. Anyway, the dips here, this camera will not pick it up, but the dips are ridiculous. I spoke about the dips. Now, have you ever tried to argue with someone who doesn't know what they're talking about, but you can't turn it into an argument? Now, the vicar, she said to me, I said, can we use some of the spoil to take some of the, depth out, and then we can get some topsoil over the top? Then she said to me, we can't just bring soil in, it's got to be consecrated. I can't really comment on that because I'm not religious, but I'm pretty sure you could bring some topsoil in, and if not, just bless it and then bring it in. So that annoyed me. The dips, I'll just turn you around because I can see it perfectly clear here, out of you'll see it. This dip here, I was going to say it's massive, it's deep, and the mower just won't cut it, and then you can see all this here is all scalped. Anyway, she said, so she said that that's a no-no really. And then the other issue was, when I very first came to do this site, and I went over it, they told me what they wanted. It was another fella, he was called Daniel. I went over and I gave him a price for the maintenance and to tidy it up originally. In fact, this was the very first job that Phil came on. So when you watch old videos and Phil's with me, this was the very first job that he came on. And we tidied it up and then we maintained it. But when I give him the price to maintain it, and then I turned up to do the tidy up, this section over here, this big square, like the edging, I think the grass was already there, but the edging, and then they've put like small little cremation stones along it. They're all just cremation instead of graves. And then these little corners and this one in the middle. Well, I didn't price for that. And it's got a little hedge around. It's a box hedge all the way around, and I've never cut that ever. Now, I've been doing it, as I say, for a couple of years, and this was not in my price, so I just didn't do it. Now, this guy asked me when am I cutting the hedge of the box, and I said, well, I don't do it, it's nothing to do with me. But this is the type of things that make the job look scruffy. I want to do it, but I've not been paid for any of this. And the volunteers used to do, somebody used to look after this square. I used to cut the grass, and someone used to do that and do all these little beds and things like that. But now they've stopped. So this all needs cutting, and look at the weeds inside all there. Oh, and look at the weeds on there. I mean, now, in the meeting, I said, can I at least get this in order? In other words, get all the weeds and the moss out of that one, even if they don't want me to do the rest of the grounds. So now what I've got to do, this update, is to let you know that I haven't got the job yet, but I've got to put a price in for it, is to cut the box hedge level, square it all off, make a new edge on the lawn all the way around here, and then weed it all so that's all nice and clear and clean, and then try and do something with this, and then obviously the box hedge here. So that's one small improvement. And to be honest with you, I might, if they let me do that, if I get that job, I might just put weed killer down on this one myself anyway, because I want it looking nice, I want it looking better. I just feel ashamed of it, and I don't want to do that with any of my jobs. So as I say, that's one of the main issues that looks scruffy, and it's not, I'm not going to do it. I'm here long enough, but if they pay me to tidy it up, I don't mind then keeping on top of it. That's a different ball game then. So yeah, so there's tidying that area up down there, or pricing for it down there, treating this lawn, price for that, and then tidying all this box hedge up and everything. Just with that alone done, I'll feel a lot better. So I've been here today, I've cut it. I know again the stripes, but it doesn't look very good, and I've got to blow. So I'm just going to get, to be honest, sorry, I've got to trim. I've took the mower over everywhere, and I've got to trim between all the graves, and then I'll get the blower out and blow it all up. But I thought I'd just give you an update. So stay tuned, because obviously if I get it, I'll be doing a video on it, and then you can see it then. Sorry, I've missed a bit out. Yeah, they told me that I couldn't put sort the graves out, but then I brought them up here because we were standing down there, and some of those graves there, they're not very deep, you know, the dips. So I brought them up here and I've showed them these. Now it's probably not going to pick this up on here, but these ones are unbelievable. They're just undulating. So they did say work out a little price for a few of these that are real big, real bad. So hopefully we can get some of these done, and I'll really look forward to that. But you can't see that. That's a massive, massive dip. You can't see it. So yeah, so that's great. Basically, apart from putting weed killer on all this, it looks actually, this photograph now on the phone, if I scan that now, that looks great. And probably you're watching it thinking, why am I moaning? Just trust me, when you hear it's as scruffy as hell. I shouldn't say hell, I don't like that. I don't like it being scruffy. Okay, I'll leave you. It was just a quick update, and it's ended up being about, what, 3 hours long. Alright, oh, and he still won't let me cut the hedge. I did mention that. I did say it wasn't illegal, and I explained it's only illegal to damage the eggs or the nest or the bird. But no, they've said leave it, so that's okay. But for some reason it looks like someone's cut the edge, like the side. I haven't. It just hasn't grown. Well, that's great. Alright, see you all soon. Sorry, I've missed a bit out as well. When I said before, it's hard to argue with someone. Well, it's hard to debate with someone without turning it into an argument if they don't know what they're talking about. I was so annoyed and I was biting my lip. What it was when I was explaining about the dips in the ground, and I said we can use some of the spoil from over there to raise it up a bit to save money on the soil. Before she mentioned it's got to be consecrated ground to be bringing in, she then said, oh no, well, we've got to watch it because it might put extra weight on it and squash the ground down more. And I thought, the reason why the ground has gone down is because you've dug a hole, loosened all the soil, then put a coffin in, which is about 12 inches high or more, whatever, in place of the soil for that area. And then when you put the soil on top, that coffin has then, what's the word, I don't want to say rotted, disintegrated over the years, and it's dropped down. So you've got loose soil moving down, settling, and then you've got the coffin space, the void, that's gone down. So all the soil's gone down. So by now, because these graves, some of these graves are old, that's it settled now to its max. If we put more on top, that's going to be a good thing, not a bad thing. It's not going to compress down to the centre of the earth. So I said, well, it won't compress anymore. She went, oh, well, you know, we've got to watch putting weight on it. Maybe I'm you know, it's a misinterpretation. I don't know whether the coffin's in the ground anyway, so any more weight on it, it won't matter. And if you put soil on it and it goes down more, it needs more soil. It's not rocket science. So basically, they haven't said no. Originally they did, but they want a price on a few. So at least a few. If I do a few and I get the job and it looks better and it looks good, they might see that it all needs doing. But I couldn't understand what she was saying. I was biting my lip. She said, "Oh no, and she was sounding so, because she's a vicar, she was sounding so in charge. She was like, no, no, no. The weight, we've got to watch the weight. We can't. We could be doing worse by putting more weight on it." Insert your own words there. Okay, see you all soon.